My hydration on right quick, family. Peace and blessings. Ashe, it's your brother. Got to get the hydrogen going. You already know. All right. So, Ashe, peace and blessings. Salute to everybody in the building. Uh, y'all already know what time it is, man. It's Omnivision EDU, Black News 720. Today's topic is, are Africans pure humans? All right. There was a statement made by a geneticist by the name of David Emil Reich. I believe I pronounced it incorrectly the first time as Rich, but it is David Emil Reich. All right. He is a geneticist, an immunologist, all right, from the University of Harvard. All right. And he has a book, right, about ancient DNA, and they're tracing the migration patterns of modern humans back to ancient, times and ancient ancestors. And so I agree with him with his statement of Africans are pure humans. And the way that you determine that factor, I'll be showing you guys today. It's very simple. It's very easy, family. I'm gonna show you how to do it. All right. Now, I'm gonna be sharing my screen. So as we build, I'm gonna be reading from certain sources, and I'll be giving a few references. And I also want to show you guys some visuals. You feel me? So we're gonna be doing it a little bit different today. We'll be doing it live. So like I said, I'm gonna give you guys a little minute to get in the building. Make sure you hit up the Cash App families, so show some support to the Omnivision EDU and the Black News, so we can get some more content and just add some new things. You feel me? Shout out to Eat with Philly Field for the donation. I appreciate that love. Jasmine's Wade for her donation as well. All right. And hopefully, I don't want to leave anybody out. There was another sister that donated, but I appreciate everyone for the support. All right. And you want to get on the joint, make sure you hit up YouTube, right? / the nature guy, Omni Amen Ashe. All right. That's the nature guide, TheNaturegod, Omni, Omni, Amen, Amun, Ashe, ASE, 2126. You can't forget the 2126. That'll get you to the joint. And we're gonna be doing future bills, family. You already know this is Black News Network, where we speak our own narrative and we don't allow Western academia, or any type of political biases to interfere with real education. And it's giving people the option of choice. You feel me? To see things from a different perspective. And that's why we go by the Omnivision. You feel me? To see all, the eyes of Horus. You know what I'm saying? To know all, to see all. New Rising, Grand Rising Queen, Miss Brandy in the house. I see you, love. I share love and light to you. I appreciate you for stopping by with us. We're gonna do this little build about pure humans. Like, I've been getting smoked from Arabs. I've been getting smoked from, from Europeans. And I understand. You feel me? You might feel some type of way about it. But like I said in the one video that I just did about science, when you sign up for science, you become a seeker of knowledge. And sometimes that knowledge is not always what you might have thought that it was. And when you get confronted with a new truth, you can digest it. It might take time to do that. I understand. But you can't let your feelings get in the way of learning and truth seeking. And I understand, that we're mind, body, and soul. We're multidimensional beings. You feel me? But we can't let feelings get in the way of learning. All right. So I just wanted to say that. Love and light to everybody in the building. I shake. Gotta stay hydrated, family. Peace and blessings. Yeah, I had to do this joint. It's an honor to do this joint. This is for, for education purposes, of course. Nothing personal against anyone. You feel me? But in my 7+ years of research, family, independent research, natural sciences, like I said, biology, study of the body, immunology, study of the immune system. You feel me? Those are just a few subjects. Chemistry, I dealt with chemistry as well. So I understand certain components of the body and genetics and health. You feel me? I actually sold herbs. I stopped myself from having epileptic seizures for a while until I messed up my regimen. You feel me? Trying to, socialize and be a whole nigga and messed up my regimen. But I did get results, and I didn't practice on another person. I tested it on myself since I deal with a condition. But like I said, I do have a good amount of understanding and knowledge of the body. You feel me? And medicine and genetics. And so I'm gonna just, speak my little 2 cents on the situation. Okay, so purity. All right. Purity is determined. This is my thesis. Purity, family, is determined by a biological marker in the gene, right? Which also encodes for a specific chemical composition. You feel me? Because we know that biochemistry is the study, it's the branch of science that deals with the chemical and the physiochemical tissues, which makes up the organs of living organisms. Okay. And so once you get into the properties of the cells that have a certain appearance and encode for a certain gene, then it's pretty much 1 + 1 is 2, and you're able to see the consistency in the information. And so, like I said, we're all made in the light, in the image. You feel me? Of the universe, in the ideas of the universe. And like I said, people of African descent are biologically different. You could call it superior, you could call it whatever you want to call it. But we do have certain ecological advantages as far as like photosynthesis, being able to be in the sun for extended amounts of time without any cellular damage. Like I said, an immune response is a biochemical reaction of the cells in the body to a foreign object or substance. And melanoma is a malignant tumor or cancer that develops from sunlight exposure, which is the same process that plants go through to create oxygen. And so it is a natural process that organisms go through, but it's in specific genetic groups, this feature is inactive, family. All right. And so, like I said, to determine the difference between having pure and impure DNA is based on an antigenic biological marker, which traces back to Neanderthals. And a Neanderthal is a hybrid species between a human and a monkey. And that's where you get the evolution theory with Charles Darwin. You feel me? Where he was saying that people come from monkeys because there's a biological marker in a certain specific percentage of humans. All right. I think it's 85-15% ratio. Okay. So there's a certain percentage of humans that has this biological marker that is associated with primate ancestry, with the Neanderthal. And they call it the RH factor. And RH is an acronym for rhesus. All right. And the rhesus monkey is a certain species of primate that's indigenous to the geographical location of Eurasia. And that's why we call them European, you feel me? Or Caucasian, for Caucasus Asia. Because the Caucasus Mountains is a real location that exists, family. Um, and so, yes, ma'am, Miss Brandy, she said, does the amount of melanin matters for Africans? Yes, ma'am. So in Africans, there seems to be a larger or greater concentration of melanin in this specific genotype and phenotype of people. Okay, of course, there are different variations of melanin that exist: brown, black, you know what I'm saying, light brown, different shades. And that's based on the the TYR gene, okay, the tyrosinase, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Is a certain is a certain uh, enzyme, right, that helps to produce melanin, right, which is a certain chemical in the body that's responsible for our pigment. And so, in certain genetic groups and phenotypes, this gene is cut off, all right, or it's non-coding. That's what the scientists would call it. And so they're not producing large amounts of melanin, or they may be producing some, but a very small amount. But like I said, in Africans, the purity level of melanin is much greater. Like I said, that's Afro-Asian, that's Afro-Latinos, that's Afro, of course, there's African, and then there's African-American, right? And then there's even Afro-Indian. I've seen Afro-Arab. And so the Afro gene is the genetic factor that ties an individual to being of African descent. You can be from any region of the land, it doesn't matter. You speak Spanish, another person speaks Spanish, one of them is white, the other one is black. They both call themselves Dominican, but one of them is actually of African descent. Okay, they call that the phenotype, and that's the physical traits and the characteristics of a living organism. Okay, and so the genes and the phenotype is like a genetic, equation or sequence that translates from genetic information to physical manifestation. This being looks like this, has these traits, these factors, because of the information that's in its genes. Now, my discrepancy with Western academia is I seen a debate online or a bill, you know what I'm saying, where people was talking about blood type. And I seen a person that was European say that they had O blood type. O is a non-antigenic group. They call them universal donors because they can donate to anybody. But anybody can't donate to an O. Okay. I also call them RH null. All right, meaning that they do not possess the Neanderthal biological marker or factor. Okay. And so I thought it was crazy that it was different racial groups that was saying, hey, I'm old blood. Oh, I'm old blood. I'm old blood. And to my understanding, that goes against basic biology, which is genotype, phenotype, transcription. The gene encodes to the physical traits and characteristics. So you can't have two different races that look different, that have different features, share the same genes. Because if you look different, that's due to your genes being different. If you look similar, that's due to your genes being much more similar. Okay, and so that's one of the discrepancies that I have with the Western academia is there's confusion. Like with the Bible, they said Jesus had half of a wool and a skin of bronze, but then when you go into church, his hair is not a wool. It's like I said, it's much thinner. He recessive traits, recessive eye, blue eyes. It's nothing like they describe him in the Bible, and so there's a conflict of interest. You see an inconsistency. And that's what I look for when I research is consistency versus inconsistency. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to it, family. Let me see if I can share my screen right fast. See if I can share my screen. All right. Yeah, so pretty much what we're gonna be doing, family, is we're gonna be looking into the different blood types, the different variations, what determines what blood type, and making sure I'm gonna give y'all a few references. Like I said, people that I follow that deal with genetics and biology. Um, but yeah, the main thing is looking. Once you identify who you are, what you are, then like I said, natural observation is my last step for filtration to make sure something is pure or make sure it's right. Um, so there's certain immunological traits that comes with certain biological markers. That's also something that I wanted to take a look at with you guys. So when you tell me I'm a certain blood type, there's certain features, there's certain characteristics that come with that, right? You can't tell me that I'm this and then I have none of those characteristics, all right? And so, like I said, natural observation is the last filtration process that you got to make sure your water is pure. You know what I'm saying? It's just like having that water filter. You don't want that dirty water. All right. Let me see. We can share the joint, the entire screen. And I guess I could just add more as I go. But yeah, StreamYard share. See if it's gonna share the screen for me. Okay, see, trying to go to my joint. Bam. Okay, that's one that I wanted to show y'all in particular. One of the older joints that I did. Just give me 1 second. It's the only thing. Doing something new. You adding the screen share. I normally don't do it live, but we're doing it live now, family. All right. Okay, let me get back to the joint. Bam. All right, those are some of the videos. But there's one that I'm gonna show y'all, but I'm gonna show you in a minute. But yeah, the Brandy, what she asked you, does the amount of melanin matter? It does matter, love, when it comes to your ability to process light, right? Because melanin is a photoreceptor, is a biochemical conductor of electromagnetic energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a channeler. You feel me? And that's a feature in our genetics as Black people. Our DNA is stimulated. Like it actually is. It is our DNA uncoils and unravels. You feel me? Like a plant. You know, under the stimulation of sunlight. That's why we develop vitamin D in the sun. You feel me? It's just a basic example. But yeah, the amount of melanin does matter. That's your ability to channel light. And it's a thermochemical energy um, reaction, pretty much. You know, the sun and chemical energy is a whole science to how that works, family. But yes, light is directly tied to chemical reactions in the body, in the DNA. All right. For some individuals, light is harmful to their DNA because they have a different, like I said, biochemistry or biology. But let me get down to some of these tabs so we can get straight to it. So my man right here, Carl Landsteiner family. So y'all see him, right? Carl Landsteiner. He is a geneticist. He was a Gemini born June 14, 1868. Carl Landsteiner, for MEM for MEM-RS was an Austrian American biologist, physician, and immunologist, right? The same subject matters I was just talking about. He immigrated with his family to New York 1923 at the age of 55 for professional opportunities working with the Rockefeller Institute. So y'all know that's the big banking family. Rockefeller. Yeah, they tied in. So anyway, he's the guy who is known for the research of the blood group system, right? Discovery of Rh factor, discovery of poliovirus. All right. So anybody that's talking about the blood group system, oh, they got this blood, they got that blood, you went and did a donation, whatever you did, you feel me? It's based on this guy right here and his discovery of the chemical reactions that occurred with different blood groups. All right. One day he was doing an experiment with A.S. Weiner. This is the other geneticist, Alexander Solomon Weiner. March 16, 1907, November 6, 1976 is when he died. He was an American biologist and physician specializing in the field of forensic medicine, serology, immunogenetics. His work led to the discovery of the Rh factor in 1937, along with Carl Landsteiner, and subsequently to the development of exchange transfusion methods that saved the lives of infants with hemolytic disease of the newborn. He received a Lasker Award for his achievement in 1946. So those was the two guys that was conducting the experiment, all right? They was conducting an experiment about they was conducting an experiment between a rabbit and a monkey, right? And y'all already know some things like science is about being inquisitive. You see something, you ask a question about it, and then you figure it out. You feel me? But it's crazy because some things you just being a human and being intelligent, you can foresee what's going to happen next. But with these guys, I guess they just had to see what was going to happen when they tried to transfuse the blood from the monkey into the rabbit. And when they did that, the blood from the monkey killed the rabbit. All right, send them to glory, because there was a antigenic immune response. And that's what the blood study is based upon. All right. Why did that happen? Because there was different genetic material, different chromosomes, different biology, and then you try to merge the biological fuel source of this organism with another organism that has no relation, that has no biological relation. All right. And so I just don't think that was the most intelligent, but sometimes they do that in science. I guess they're smart, but sometimes too smart for their own good. Okay, Miss Brandy, what she say? Where should I be looking at on the screen? Which video? Which video? Oh yeah, I wanted to show one. The show about the immune response. But before I get into that, I wanted to build about this right quick. I'm gonna show you which one. 1 second. It's I think it's why blacks are lactose intolerant. That's the one. It's that one, and then I think it's one more. But they most definitely have a lot to do with this video right here. Okay, so antigen medical definition, right? By the National Cancer Institute. Because this is what determines the blood group. You got O type, which was originally A, B, and C, and then they changed it to O group, right? And so you have A antigen for A blood. You have B antigen for B blood. You have AB antigen in the AB blood group, right? So every blood group is based upon the type of antigens that it possesses, except for the O group, which is Rh null, right? Meaning they have no antigens present. Okay, so for individuals who are going around teaching that there are no pure humans, you sound preposterous. You sound really foolish and really ridiculous. All right, because it's basic common sense. Like I said, you get people who say they're scientists, say they're intelligent, and then they come stumble upon certain information, and then they feel in some type of way, family, and they create delusions in their minds. All right, and antigens is any substance that causes the body to make an immune response against that substance. Okay, an antigen includes toxins, all right, chemicals, bacteria, viruses, all right, and other substances that come from outside of the body. The body tissues and cells, including cancer cells, also have antigens on them that can cause an immune response. That's by nationalcancerinstitute.gov. So you know, Brother Omni is not just making shit up out the ass. You feel me? All right, National Cancer Institute. An antigen includes toxins, chemicals, bacteria, viruses, or other substances that come from outside the body. All right. So an antigen is not good, but I seen a video where I think it was like a school teacher. They was talking about blood types in the school to the little kids, and the lady referred to the antigen as sprinkles on donuts, and they're actually microbial parasites like worms. You feel me? And they get into your immune system. They're immune invaders, and they jeopardize your health and your overall well-being. And so, hold on. Here go the joint. Here go the tablet. The joint right here. So the Neanderthal are known to contribute up to 1 to 4% of genomes of non-African modern humans. Right? This is what they say by Smithsonian's Human Origin. Depending on what region of the world your ancestors come from. And modern humans who lived about 40,000 years ago have been found to have up to 6 to 9% Neanderthal DNA. All right. So, like I said, a Neanderthal is a hybrid, and a hybrid is when you take two species that are pre-existing and you put them together and you get a new product. Okay. Which is speciation. All right, and now we're going to look at the blood group, right? It says right here, the NHS.UK. There are 4 main blood groups defined by the ABO system. Blood group A has A antigens on red blood cell with anti-B antibodies in the plasma. Blood group B has B antigens. Remember, we just said that. With anti-A antibodies in the plasma. Blood group O has no antigens, like we just said, but both anti-A and anti-B antibodies in the plasma. And you know, when you get sick, they give you what? Antibodies. When you get an infection, right? They discovered the antibodies from studying the human anatomy, studying the body and the immune system, and how it responds to invasion and infections. And so we have natural antibodies in our bodies. I even have a story where I had an abscess one time. Doctor told me, Mr. Jones, if you don't take care of this, you know, you can affect your bloodstream and potentially die. Didn't have the money, didn't have the funds at the time. He gave me the prescription, couldn't get it. But anyway, went home, laid down, woke up in the morning. The abscess was busted on its own. And so the stuff just started coming out. Shit was gross. But my point is, when you have antibodies in your immune system, you have a stronger immunity. You feel me? And that's present in the O group. They have anti-A and anti-B antibodies. All right. And so those are the factors that respond against immune invasion. So this automatically would make this group have the strongest immunity out of every genetic group. All right. And this is the group that I'm telling you black people are, old group. It don't matter what they told you was, all right? We do not possess any animal factors in our genes. We're lactose intolerant. We have a higher susceptibility to sugar diabetes, all right? Because glycerin and glycol and glucose is a part of the antigenic sugar, all right? In the AB, the B, and the A group. All right. And O does not possess those antigens. You can call them alleles. That's another word they use in the scientific community. All right. Antigens and alleles. They're also mutagens because those are mutations. So if you have an AB group, a B group, or A group, those are genetic mutations, family. All right. So like I said, the O group has the strongest biological and genetic immunity. All right. These other groups will suffer with less immunity. Thus means for artificial immune boosters, vaccines. You feel me? Is a way to boost the immune system of individuals that do not have strong inherent biological immunity. All right. That's why they do these things, family. All right. So on to the next joint. Okay. So I was just talking about mutation, right? By the National Cancer Institute.gov. Anything that causes a mutation, a change in the DNA of a cell. All right. And DNA changes caused by mutagens may harm cells and cause certain diseases, such as cancer. Examples of mutagens include radioactive substances, X-ray, ultraviolet radiation, and certain chemicals. Like they say, with the Europeans came death, sickness, and disease when they came upon the Indians. All right. When they came upon the Indians, there was death, sickness, and disease, family. Why? Because of this biological marker that is associated with Neanderthals or monkeys. All right. This is the reason why they try to say everybody come from monkeys, which is not true. It's the antigenic groups, the antigenic blood groups. All right. All right. Peace, Queen. Let me see what's going on. Yes, ma'am. An antigen is a microbial parasite, and it behaves as a toxin. All right. It has the impact of a toxin on the body, like deteriorating cells, eating away at cell membranes, and destroying the structure of a cell. All right. It's like sickle cell. You feel me? That cell is a depleting, deteriorating cell. It's not healthy. And that's why it's shaped like a crescent moon. It's like, it's deformed. But that's an effect of a parasite and the effect of a toxin. They eat away at cell membranes. All right, deterioration. So, like I said, that results in lower immunity. Lower immunity. All right. Okay, so let me get back to it 1 second, family. Yeah, antigen is a toxin. It results in lower immunity. All right. And so what we got here, okay. And so we talked about Carl Landsteiner, who he was and what he did. All right. It was not until the year 1900 when Carl Landsteiner at the University of Vienna discovered why some blood transfusions were successful while others could be deadly. Okay, to speak to that, family. So there's a such thing as organ rejection or transplant rejection. When people try to deal with an organ, when people try to deal with an organ or get an organ that does not share the same genetic and biochemical composition, once they try to install that organ, the cells in that organ identify the cells around it as foreign, chemically and genetically. And so there's a such thing as transplant rejection or organ rejection. All right. And like I said, the RH incompatibility, which is a response between antigens and antibodies, because you have certain groups that are antigenic and certain groups that is non-antigenic. All right. So when they clash, it's like the military. You know what I'm saying? It's going down, and so it's a negative response behind that. All right. And so like I'm telling y'all, like the blood type does deal with your genes. Like I said, the genotype translates to the phenotype. All right. From Greek phonein, meaning to show. All right. Typos, meaning type. All right. To show type, phenotype is in regards to the physical traits and characteristics of a living organism. All right. And so we have to understand that there has to be a specific blood group that is associated with a specific genetic group, a specific race. Every race has their own blood group, all right? Even though it's not taught like that, all right? Because like I said, that would defy genotype, phenotype transcription, all right? The way you are, how you are, your genetic features is due to your genes. It's very simple. Good morning, love and light. Eat with Philly Phil. I shade Queen. I see you. I sent you a shout out earlier in the show. Appreciate for the support and the donation. Look, I already told you I got you. But we're doing this build about Africans being pure humans, which was a statement made by geneticist Dr. David Emil Reich from the University of Harvard. All right. And it's a mind-blowing statement. We normally don't hear anything good about our people, not like that. Roots was the best thing that we had for a long time. And then we, Black History Month, of course, had to fight for our civil rights. It's different things that then, took place along the way, family. So it's all good, but it's a new day. You feel me? I like how they doing the Wakanda and all of that. You know what I'm saying? How they showing Afrocentric culture in the media more often. You feel me? Because according to recent studies on statistics and population, the mortality rate of Asians and Europeans is on the rise, and the birth rate of Asians and Europeans is on the decline. But for African Americans and for Latinos, the birth rate is on the rise, family, and the mortality rate is lower. And so the future is looking more colorful. You feel me? And that's not to throw any shade at anybody. It's just that's what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? The future is a colorful future of Black and brown people. All right. Now, another thing about the study, family, okay, because I don't want to read y'all to death, because I know how my people live. But what was it? It was something I wanted to show y'all. Oh yeah, fertility, family. And so that we know that a pathogen, like I said, or antigen contains pathogens, which are microbial parasites that are responsible for disease, right? So pathology is the branch of medical science that is focused on the study and diagnosis of disease. Clinical pathology involves the examination of surgically removed organs, tissues, biopsy samples, bodily fluids, and in some cases, the whole body autopsy. McGill University. Okay, I think I know what's going on too, family. But I was talking about the pathology. See, they got me on the same page because I'm still learning this joint, family. So y'all got to bear with me. Bear with me. Hold on one second. Let me see. Let me start the joint. Then I'm gonna go back to it. So I think I'm gonna have to do one screen at a time though. Hold on. Let me see right quick. Share screen. Well, I was just saying pathology definition. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I had to do one at a time. It's all good. Y'all can see that, right? Like I said, it's a branch of science that deal with the study of disease, family. Let's see if I can. Okay, yeah, pathology. Y'all see that? By McGill University. Pathology is a branch of medical science that is focused on the study and diagnosis of disease. Clinical pathology involves examination of surgically removed organs, tissues, biopsy samples, bodily fluids, and in some cases, the whole body autopsy. So, like I said, it's the study of disease. Now, the root of disease are pathogens. Pathogens are microbial parasites, right, that exist in nature as decomposers. Just like when you look in the trash can or you see a dead carcass on the side of the road and you see maggots, all right? These are decomposer life forms. Their job is to break down things that are dead. Okay, so the study of disease deals with these microbial parasites called pathogens that are responsible for disease that only occur in the natural world when things are dead. Okay. And so in the A group, in the B group, and in the AB group, there are pathogens. And like I said, it's the root of disease. All right. And so you have blood groups that have lower levels of immunity naturally. And maybe they need artificial immune boosters. But our children, if they have O blood, right, and they are an antigenic genetic group, then receiving vaccines which contains pathogens, which the blood study is based upon the presence and absence of antigens. If you give them an antigen in the vaccine, it's going to cause the same reaction that it causes in the RH, in the ABO blood group study, which is a RH incompatibility. It's going to harm that individual. I don't see how you guys forget about the studies that you teach. That's the thing with Western academia sometimes. How you consider that when it comes to people taking blood or receiving antibodies from other people, or pretty much like vampirism. It's vampirism. You feel me? Because you leeching off somebody. You feel me? But then when it come down to them, and things being safe for them, it's not the same energy. That's all I'm saying. So let's go on to the next joint. Let me see. Exit the full screen. All bear with me, family. I'm learning to finesse this joint so we can do more bills. You appreciate the love. My queen's in the building. I see. Okay. All right. Let me see what we got. The next joint. So I think what I have to do is go back out, right? And then go to present, go to my next joint. Yeah, if y'all got any questions, feel free to ask, family. What did they tell you your blood type was? And what are some of the things that you experience, as far as your immune system? You know what I'm saying? I feel like my immune system was pretty strong. I didn't take the antibiotics because I didn't have the money to get it at the time. I was like, man, I ain't got time for y'all, man. I laid down, woke up, and it busted by itself, family. Like my whole face was swole on that side. He cut my face right here with a scalpel. Like my beard, like it grow, but it probably would be a little bit thicker. But yeah, they cut me right there with the scalpel. So he could try to get the what's the name out. So they got a little bit of, but they told me to take the meds, but I ain't taking no meds. So that's an example of antibodies. Like your body just naturally knowing to fight against infection. You don't got to train it. That's the thing they be doing with vaccine. You got to train the body to fight against. Is your body? Is the universe not intelligent? Is it a? Is it a? Ain't it? Is it a? Ain't it? That's what I'm trying to understand. That same universe that made the sun, the moon, and the stars, man. Come on, man. Stop playing. Okay. And so, let me see. So I showed y'all A.S. Weiner, right? And Carl Landsteiner. Those was the individuals that came up with the test study and was able to identify the difference between antigenic and non-antigenic bloodlines. All right. And the reaction was based on the presence of these antigens, these pathogens in the blood, which are microbial decomposers, microbial parasites. All right. So let me go to the next joint. And so, like I said, the main thing in the study, family, the main thing in the study that y'all need to take note to. Give me 1 second while I get everything. Main thing y'all need to take note to is the biological markers, right? So you got different blood groups, right? And then you got the blood group that got the antigenic markers in it, the Neanderthal gene. Then you got a group that don't have it. Okay. And so you see that you have the antibodies in the O group, like I showed y'all. I can go back to it. I thought I was showing y'all, but the screen won't work. And here it go right here though. Go to it right quick so y'all can see it. Y'all see this, right? The little group. Let me go back to the joint. All right, there we go. Yeah, that's what I was trying to show y'all. So yeah, y'all see it. So yeah, like I said, it's 4 main groups. So you got the O right here. Like I said, it has the antibody in the plasma. It got 2 of them. You feel me? So it has great immune strength. Then you got the AB right here that has none. It has no immune defense. Immune defense is based on antibodies. All right. Then you have the B, they have 1. Then you have the A, they have 1. So they have an intermediate defense, but it's not the best. You feel me? Then, like I said, they got the lowest, they got the strongest. They used to look at the antigens, which are the immune debilitators. You feel me? They are the immune you feel me, prohibitors. Like they prevent the immune system from functioning. They harm and depreciate the immune system's ability to fight off infection. And so you have this group A with 1, the B with 1, then the AB got 2. They got 2 mutations, and then the O has none. So I'm saying that the people of African descent, which supports the statement made by David Emil Reich from the University of Harvard, that only people of African descent are 100% human. All right. And that's, like I said, based on the presence and the absence of the biological marker from the Neanderthal, which is the antigen right here below. All right. So, like I said, I don't know which one they told you y'all was, but they told me I was a B, but none of my characteristics fit B. Like I said, I done went a minute on my natural shit, not even washing my hair. And I went a minute, like shit, probably like 9 months, something like that. Cause I was just on my cleansing and natural shit. And I ain't getting no lice, I ain't getting no dandruff, nothing. That didn't develop in my hair at all. So that doesn't run in my gene, that doesn't run in my blood. You know what I'm saying? I don't have internal microbial parasites a part of my bloodstream. That's for different. That's for somebody else. All right. So let me see. Let me get out of this joint. So y'all seen the different groups. So now y'all with me. Now I can see that y'all can see what I'm seeing. You feel me? That's what I'm going for. What is BRB, Brandon? What it stand for? Let me see. Hold on. So y'all see Lance Steiner. So let me see. Whatever screen I go on, it'll change it. Sure, this tab is still. Okay, I got it, y'all. I got it. So it's letting me share any tab I want to share. All right. Okay, let me see. All right. So, like I said, the main thing is the presence of antigen and pathogen, and then it's also the presence of an animal biological marker. Animals, humans, and plants are separate species of kingdoms of organisms. Okay, let me say it again. Humans, animals, and plants are separate kingdoms of species of organisms. All right. You don't see human plant or plant humans. Same way you shouldn't see a human animal. Those are different kingdoms of organisms. All right. And so the guy, like I said, that made the statement is right here. So I can share the tab. All right. Dr. David Emil Reich, right here, PhD. If you want to hit the man up and call him, you can do that. They go to man number and everything. He got an email, you feel me? He's still at Harvard. If y'all want the smoke. Whoever this guy was talking about he wanted to debate. So ancient DNA reveals a multi-step spread in the first herders into sub-Saharan Africa. Those are some publications that he done made. Formation of human populations in South and Central Asia. Okay, but the man deals with ancient DNA. All right, he has a book out about ancient DNA as well. Let me see if I can get it right quick. Google join. But yeah, family, we need somebody to do this for us, family, because this right here could establish scientific basis for nationality. Oh, we're this nationality. Oh, we deserve land. We deserve resource. Well, how you deserve that? Let me show you how, family. Let me show you how to. This is how you come. You come with real science. That's how brother Dr. Sebi won that case in 1987, man, against the federal Supreme Court when they tried to try him for practicing medicine without a license. And he beat him based on his understanding of science. You can't say he was lying or say he was wrong. Science is you can't debate that. There's no, law should be based on it. I said that in one bill. Damn sure should. Then it couldn't be no corruption. We got to go by the book. This is what we playing. We playing chess. We playing checker, whatever game. That's how science is. It's absolute. There ain't no bending and turning no corners. That's what I like about it. Make sure nobody can't lie, can't cheat. Which one was it? Who are we and how we got here? Ancient DNA. Yeah, I think that's the joint by David Emil Reich. If y'all wanted to check them out, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, who are we and how we got here? There's another one though. See, he done wrote several different books, but anyway, he's a good reference. So let me see. Okay, yeah. All right, all right, all right, family. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to build about albinism. So albinism is a genetic mutation as well, right? And this is deep, family. Y'all got to pay attention to this. Okay, cool, love. Cool. Champs girl in the building. I see Queen Love and Light. I see you in the building. I appreciate the love. We was just talking about if Africans are pure humans is a statement that was made by a geneticist, European guy from the University of Harvard, guy who studies genetics, immunology, and reproduction. His name is David Emil Reich. All right. And we was just talking about that statement, which is mind blowing, that a scientist says that our people are, the original people. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I had an Arab that wanted smoke. I had a European man that wanted smoke because of the video that I made. And I was just showing David Emil Reich doing his lecture and making the statement. And you know what I'm saying? It was just mind blowing, and to see the response from the crowd, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a big elephant in the room for a minute. Like you could hear a nickel drop. I was like, wow, that's mind blowing, man. I believe that. That's what I've been teaching for years, just to hear him say it and solidify what I've already been saying. There has to be a bloodline, because a hybrid is a cross between two pre-existing species. And so you can't have the hybrid without the original. And so my whole point is, how could you emphasize on Lucy, which was an Australopithecus, which was supposed to be part hominid and part human. So it's also a hybrid. If you would give her 3.5 million years, then that means that there are original humans that were existing predating Lucy and prior to that time, because she's a hybrid. She has the genetic material from a human and from a hominid. That's a hybrid. And so that's just basic common sense. We can't dwell in delusion, family. You feel me? It got to make sense. You can't have a hybrid without an original. The originals are what create the hybrid species, which is a new variation. Two separate species that have no genetic relativity, which never happens in the natural world, which is crazy. It's something that's man-made, actually. And so anyway, in the different blood groups, you have mutation. You have albinism. You have animal biological markers, right, and proteins. Okay, and then you have low immunity. Those are three different things off the rip that you can expect from an antigenic group. Albinism, low immunity, right? Albinism, low immunity, and animal biological markers. All right. So that's what we're looking for. That's what all scientists they're looking for. They're looking for animal markers in the human genome. If it has those markers, it has ancestry related to the Neanderthal. Okay. All right. So let me see. So albinism was first discovered in 1908 by a British physician named Sir Archibald Edward Garrod. All right. At first, it was believed that albinism is caused by lack of melanocytes. Okay. And they went on further to say that it's not necessarily a lack of melanocytes, but a lack of tyrosine, or the TRY gene, the TYR gene, right? And like I said, those are enzymes necessary to produce the chemical melanin, which is responsible for pigment. And so melanocytes are associated with tyrosine, all right? Well, yeah, discovered in 1908. And so the next joint, okay, let me share my joint. Yeah, I'm about to say, I know I ain't gonna have to go in and out every time, because that's gonna be aggravating. All right, so we got it. Okay, nationalcancerinstitute.gov, all right? Albinism medical definition: a group of genetic conditions marked by little or none of the pigment melanin in the skin, hair, and or eyes. People with albinism may have vision problems and white or yellow hair, reddish, violet, blue, or brown eyes, and pale skin. All right. So it's associated with lack of melanocytes, like we were just talking about, and the tyrosine enzyme to produce the pigment. All right. But this does lowers the survival rate of an organism as well. And albinism is, if I'm not mistaken, is 1 in every 20,000 for humans. But in nature, albinism is 1 in every 20 million. So it does occur in nature, but it is very rare, right? So for humans, for plants, and for animals, albinism does occur, all right? But what's funny is the biological markers from separate species. That has to be explained, all right? Like I said, there is a blood group for that guy that wanted to debate, forgot what his name was, but there's a blood group that has no biological markers associated with animal DNA. It does not have the Rh protein, all right? It's called Rh null. And y'all going around talking about it ain't no pure humans. Now, I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings now, but like I said, this is for educational purposes. Don't allow your feelings to get in the way of learning. Okay, that's very harmful to the world. It's very harmful to evolution and progress of the world. All right. So we don't want to dwell in that. All right. Let's move on. So I shared the screen. All right. Just to show y'all a few different species that possess albinism. All right. Like I said, it's 1 in every 20 million in nature for animals. But it's more common in humans, 1 in every 20,000. And so, like I said, one of the things that stand out to me before I get into all the intricate stuff is the fact that in nature, it's crazy that albinism is a rare mutation that does occur, right? But with people of African descent, there's a true albino, right? And I'll show the depictions. I had to go to my screen right quick. Let me show my joint. There's a true albino. Let me go ahead and just get into that now. Let me go ahead and pull it up. There's a true albino, right? And then there's albinism. Albinism, like I said, is a lack of melanin and a lack of melanocytes that are responsible for the pigment and the tyrosine enzyme that is responsible for producing it. All right. So let me go to my joint. And so, like I said, there's a difference from a true albino and albinism. Now, with people of African descent, we produce true albinos, not an organism or a species that just has albinism. And I'm saying this because I believe the African albino is the template for every other species that possesses albinism, because it's the first natural mutation to occur in the human genome. Okay, out of Africa theory, I know y'all heard of that. It's not out of India, it's not out of Europe, it's not out of Mexico, it's not out of none of that. It's out of Africa, all right? Because that is the cradle of civilization. All right. So we're just gonna go to the joint right quick. If I can expand it and make it bigger. Let me expand it. I just wanted to show y'all this these depictions of some albinos. Like I said, there's a true albino, and then there is individuals who are hybridized, right? Who have albinism. And what's funny about it, albinism is so rare, right? But in certain genetic groups, every time they reproduce, it's albinism automatic, which is rare. So that's what I'm saying. There's a sequence in the gene that has been turned off or encoded to which results in a loss of feature, right? The loss of pigmentation and the ability to process sunlight. All right, y'all see the little girl? Let me see if I can make it bigger. Save to collections. No, not visual search. So I think y'all can see it. Let me see. So y'all see the little girl, right? So this is what I mean by a true albino, right? This is a person of African descent, right? A black person, a black little girl. She has albinism, but she's a true albino because she has the phenotypical traits of a person of African descent. All right. The nose, the lips, and the hair being coily. All right. The only thing that she has that's different from a typical African person is her skin being pale. But this is what I mean by a true albino. This exists in different species. I'm gonna show y'all. I got you. This exists in different species. But in certain genetic groups, think of what I'm saying. Every time they reproduce, it's automatic albinism. I'm telling you, that's an artificial mutation, family. Now, that's a story in the Epic of Gilgamesh about the Anunnaki, the god of it's Enki and that's Enlil. All right. So one of the gods created a sub race, a subspecies of humans. All right. In this mythology, in this story by this ancient people, that it was people in Africa 6,000 years ago that had knowledge of genetic science. I don't know if you want to go with it or not, but they did build pyramids, which does take math and calculation and all of that. That's very complex architecture. We don't even have structures that last for that long. But anyway, science existed 6,000 years ago in Africa. There was some type of genetic manipulation, all right, which I can show y'all, what I think about that too. Like I said, there was some type of genetic manipulation, and we see it in the studies today. That's the only reason why I feel like I would even mention it, because it's an old reference. It could mean something to you. It could not mean something. But like I said, there's an artificial mutation that causes for albinism. And it's not 1 in 20, 1 in every 20,000, like it is with normal, how it is normally. And in nature, it's 1 in every 20 million. So it does happen, but it's very rare. And those species, they don't survive in nature. It's hard for them to adapt being, with their lack of pigment. So being in a domesticated setting would serve that type of individual, because they wouldn't, it'll be harder to survive in the wild. But anyway, I just wanted to show y'all another depiction. I have a few more of Afro albinos, like true albinos. All right. All right, let me go back. Go back. Go back. All right. You got another picture, another depiction. All right. Young brother, young king, even though he got albinism, all right, he does not have biological markers from a separate species. Now, he has a natural mutation. This is true. Now, let me go to it because y'all not seeing it. Let me go to it so y'all can see the little dude. Make it bigger. All right. Can y'all see my screen? All right. Okay. Another Afro. Okay. Afro albino. All right. Just showing y'all the phenotype because I'm trying to help y'all to understand. Automatic albinism is bonkers. It is automatic album because it doesn't occur commonly in nature. So I'm telling you that it's an artificial mutation. Somebody did that. Somebody went in the gene and did that, family. Somebody went in the genome and did that. And your genome is like your manuscript for your biology. You know who you are, what you are, the sounds that you make, how you move around, your mechanics, everything. You feel me? That's in your genome. Like it's just like a computer. You can go in that DNA and rearrange instructions. That's what DNA is. It's instructions. You know what I'm saying? No insult to people that believe in the Bible, but your instruction not in that Bible. Your instruction is in you, is in your DNA. It tells you what to do. All right. And so, like I said, just wanted to go over a few Afro albinos. All right. Like I said, it's a natural occurrence that does happen. We'll try to cap like it don't happen, but it's rare. But with Caucasians and with Asians, that's automatic albinism. That is crazy. All right. But we just want to understand why though. Why is it like that? That's it. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no insult. We just trying to understand what's going on. Go another little boy right here. Let me share my screen. Share this tab. All right. All right. So y'all can see the joint. So look at this little boy right here. So y'all see him, right? He is an Afro albino. Y'all see them little kids behind him? See, they the same tribe as him now. See, he from Africa. He around other little African little children. You feel me? But he has an Afro phenotype. You see the lips. You see the nose. He not lacking oxygen. The red blood cell, like I said, is a darkened pigmented cell. And it's in the base of the red blood cell, the hemoglobin is what? Iron and oxygen. When they went to Egypt, they blowed the noses off the pharaohs, off the statues, because it clearly depicts the phenotype of a person of African descent. The nose, the oxygen in the body from the biochemistry. See, he's not lacking oxygen, but he has albinism. But I'm just saying he is a person of African descent. His genotype and his phenotype. They could donate blood together. They could donate blood together. All right. But a person that is not the same race as you cannot donate blood with you, family. Then now, if I believe there's some type of black sheep that they use. They already know the science of how it works. But I feel like there's a political bias and some type of cover up going on. But do your own research. But I'm doing my research, and y'all see what I'm on. I'm identifying the mutation in the gene, right? The difference between antigenic blood and the immune responses that go with those different type of antigenic markers. All right. So I'm not just listening and regurgitating, because I heard somebody say that to me one time. Like, man, ain't trying to hear no regurgitation. I was just insulted. I'm like, boy, you know how many theories I got that's my own? That's ain't nobody said it what I said. You feel me? And so I like to read. I like to hear what other people have to say. You feel me? But I am a revolutionary thinker. And my mind is unlimited, family. And so I just want to use my gifts and my abilities to, try to make a difference in the world. And so I feel like this subject need to be talked about. The man said that people of African descent is pure humans. Like this is the template for purity. All right. You know, we have albinism. It occurs, right? But it's 1 in every 20,000 people, naturally, right? With the other races, you feel me? It's automatic. I told you that's an artificial mutation, family. It's not consistent with nature and with natural observation. So let's go to another joint. It's showing y'all the Afro phenotype, albinism. Now, every species has this, but no species, in no species that's natural does it occur automatic every time. That's crazy. That's bonkers. You made something that was uncommon common. Hold on right quick. All right, share this tab. All right, there we go. Y'all can see the joint. All right, view from the joint. Yeah. So you see this little boy, here go another little boy. The Afro phenotype. Hold on one second, family. Hold on one second. I'm drinking that water, boy. That water ran straight through you. Hold on one second. Okay, family. We back. We back. I had to run to the bathroom right quick. I'm good though. We're good to go. Yeah, I was just talking about albinism, the different blood types, and how to identify mutation and how mutation is associated with immunity, right? And so, like I said, it does occur in nature, but it's uncommon. And so you see the Afro phenotype, you see the little boy, he has African features, the lips, the nose, you know what I'm saying? You got the big forehead, he got it all. You feel me? He most definitely my kind. That's my tribe. But he has a mutation that occurs naturally, which is rare, right? But he has no animal biological markers. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those animal proteins. And so a thing that I thought was interesting is that lactose tolerance and lactose intolerance is also associated with this immunological response of antigenic and non-antigenic blood groups. Did you guys know that? Let me show you right quick. Did you guys know that? Listen, when I was having my twins, the doctor told me, it was like, hey, Mr. Jones, uh, she was like, was there any problem with with milk or dairy, such and such? You know, black people or people of African Americans are normally lactose intolerant, such and such. And she went over the percentage with me. I was like, no, ma'am, I never knew that. Like, I know I used to like some dairy products, cheesecake and stuff like that, but it did fuck my stomach up. It really did. But I guess I ain't really care about it because I liked it, but it ain't for us, family. Like, that's like, I don't know. It's like eating dog food. It's an animal protein. Y'all remember I did a video about the vitamin D and the vitamin D3. So you got the plant-based version with the vitamin D, and then the vitamin D3 is another alternative form of it, which is an animal-based protein. And so that's what it's all about, family. Like the products that they make for us, it's based on this same study of having animal biomarkers and not having it. But the people who don't have the animal biomarkers, that's not too many alternatives for them. It's like everything is generalized based on having animal biomarkers. And so it sucks for the people that don't. But anyway, it says right here, Boston Children's Hospital, 80% of all African Americans and Native Americans are lactose intolerant. You guys see that? Over 90% of Asian Americans are lactose intolerant, and it is least common amongst Americans with North European heritage. Okay, so we see that melanin is relative. African Americans have a higher immunological response to animal protein. Lactose, what importance is that? It's an animal protein. Okay, humans make milk, kangaroos make milk. Okay, cows make milk. You feel me? But you don't see them drinking another species milk. All right. And so Black people or African Americans, all right, or anybody who shares that type of genealogy will have an immunological response to a substance that is protein, that is animal protein based. All right. And so that's why you're having that response. We don't have the enzymes biologically to process animal protein because we don't have that biological marker in our genes. All right, to make it simple. Not to insult any Europeans in the building. It's no hatred towards you, but we deserve to know about our people. The history, the science about our people as well. So hopefully y'all can be understanding towards that. All right. Because we most definitely need that for our people to know where we come from, you know what I'm saying? To know our culture, the values of our people. We need to know that. And so that's what we're doing today. I'm taking my time with you guys. I told you that I would. I come to the rescue. I put on my Superman cape. And we're going to do it today. Anybody want to debate, y'all bring them to me. They got anything to say about what I'm saying, please bring them over here to the Omnivision EDU so we can give them the holistic perspective. All right? Because this is a Black news network and platform that's meant to, for empowerment of our people, which we've been deprived of that for a long time. So somebody got to do it, family. You feel me? All right. So yeah, we lactose intolerant because we don't possess those proteins in our DNA. All right. So on to the next joint. All right, here go a joint right here, family. Let me share my tab. All right, so y'all can see. All right. All right, let me pull the joint up right quick. Exit out the full screen. Go back to it. All right. Okay. All right. So y'all see the screen. So let me go to this joint right here. That's a few little references that I'm gonna use for y'all. All right. So right here, family, it says world most ancient race trace in DNA study. All right. Okay, this was an older study, May 1st, 2009. The scientists analyzed the genetic variation within DNA of more than 3,000 Africans and found that the San were among the most genetically, I guess, ancient or diverse. They cut off the reading, but we can click on it. Hold on one second. So what is the oldest genetic race? The African San people have been found to be the most ancient race in the world in a huge genetic study, the people who have lived as hunter-gatherers for thousands of years are the direct relations of early modern humans who migrated from the continent to spread their DNA throughout the world. May 2nd, 2009. That's by telegraph.co, UK, UK News. All right. The African sign people. Okay. You see that, those are African people. Like I was saying earlier, the African phenotype is the template for purity. All right. So you see, these are African people. No matter what country in Africa they was from, they're African. All right. So African is the template for purity. All right. As far as not having the presence of animal DNA. If you have animal DNA, then it's nothing I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing I can do about that. But it is something that you should learn about as far as like diet, immune responses, what's good for you. You know what I'm saying? You should know that too. Same way I'm trying to learn what's good for myself. All right, love and light. I see you, love. Miss Brandy. Okay. All right. And we still building about purity, genetic and biological purity. All right. Like I said, any scientist, anybody doing any type of research, what they're looking for, family, is the presence in the absence of animal DNA in the human genome. Like I said, what the hell is animal DNA doing in the human genome? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. Look it up. RH factor. All right. It's an acronym for rhesus monkey factor. That's what it is. All right. And it's 85, 15% ratio amongst people in the modern world. All right. So it exists. All right. Okay. And so we go to this joint right here. We talked about the out of Africa theory, and that it's not an out of any other where theory. It's out of Africa because it's the oldest civilization. It's the oldest known place and group of people. You feel me? And so how is it far-fetched for people of African descent to be the original people? I don't see what's so hard for people to understand about it. So here go another thing right here, family. Let me see. There's something right here that I thought was dope. Let me share my joint so y'all can see it. All right, we'll go back to the joint. All right, so I was doing some research about fertility, and it came up at Statista.com, right? That Niger, in 2023, the fertility rate in Niger was estimated to be 6.73 children per woman, with a fertility rate of almost 7 children per woman. Niger is the country with the highest fertility rate in the world, followed by Mali. Okay, so Niger, African country, Mali, African country. See where I'm going with this, family? Hopefully y'all see where I'm going with this. Niger, African country, Mali, African country. You feel me? And so fertility is associated with reproduction and immunity. You feel me? And like I said, in the blood study, we can see that there's a compromise in the immunity and in reproduction in certain antigenic groups due to the presence of parasitic pathogens and antigens, right? Which cause cell destabilization, all right? And cell destruction, cell deterioration, cell degeneration, all right? I like to say cell degeneration, but yes, cell degeneration. So y'all know what I'm talking about, family. So anyway, the inhibitor is the antigen, the pathogen. Okay, once you get that pathogen, it's going to hinder certain structure in the DNA and certain functions in the DNA. Like I said, loss of the ability to perform photosynthesis successfully without melanoma skin cancer, which is a malignant tumor that occurs from sunlight exposure, right? In certain genes, that function is still coding. In certain other genes, it's not coding. All right. So that's a loss of function. If you have groups that have it and then you have groups that do not have it. All right. So I'm just showing you the effects of the pathogen in the antigen. All right. It's bad, bad, bad. It's bad news. Nothing good about it. All right. So I'm learning how to get quicker with this joint, family. This is the first time I'm doing it like this, where we able to look at it live, where y'all seeing me doing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seeing me live. All right. All right. So lowers fertility rates. Like I said, this is associated with the presence of the pathogen and the antigen. All right. Ask any educator, they'll tell you. All right. So the 20 countries with the lowest fertility rate 2023. I need to go to more of them so I can see more. That ain't good enough. But you see Taiwan, South Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong. Those are all Asian. All right. Those are all Asian population. All right, let me go back to the joint. Bam, bam. Yeah, I appreciate you, Miss Brandy. You said what? That's a huge percentage. Huge percentage of what you mean, like the population? Because yeah, the black folks in Niger, they most definitely passing the baton of life and infertility. They ain't playing no type of game. They got the Afro music going on over there too. Yeah, they having a good old time. All right, let me get to the joint. Statista.com. There we go. So we can see. So we can see, family. See the chart. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, man. I'm telling you. This shit based on genes, yo. I'm telling you, that's everything. That's the identity that God gave you. Don't let nobody play with that identity right there, family. Give a damn about no social security number or no goddamn what's the other joint? None of that don't matter, man. Your ID, all that's man-made. Your identity is your gene, your DNA that God gave you to exist in this realm, in the physical realm. All right. Yeah, so you see Taiwan, South Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, 1.23, Macau, Italy, Puerto Rico, Spain. You know what I'm saying? Those are not African places. Let me show you. Let me go back to those are not African places, family. Monastrate, Virgin Islands, Bosnia, Japan, Greece, Poland, Portugal. Virgin Islands is the only place that's black. Portugal, China. You see that? So y'all see that, family. Like, listen, man, it's based on genealogy, got a lot to do with reproduction and immunity. That's a part of your, you know what I'm saying, your genetics. And we see it in the study. We see it consistent in the study. All right. So, like I said, the nations that's struggling with population and with fertility are not of African descent. That's a reproductive immunological deficiency. All right. And y'all see, remember we was talking about that earlier? So y'all don't think I was just bull jiving. See it right there, Purdue University. In wildlife, albinism is a rare occurrence at birth caused by a recessive gene. The rate in wildlife is estimated from 1 to 20,000 to 1 in 1 million. All right, by Purdue University. So y'all see that it's not common. All right. Let me see what we got. Remember we was talking about, what was it? Food allergens. We was talking about that earlier. Let me shut the tab. So Chicago researchers have found that both African Americans and Latino children have significantly higher rates of corn, shellfish, and fish allergies than white children, confirming that race and ethnicity play an important role in how people are affected by food allergy. Rush University. All right. So y'all see right there that with African Americans, with Latino children, we have higher rates of allergic reaction to corn. Right? Maize corn is a genetically modified species. Shellfish, right? Animal protein, of course. Fish allergies. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, we do better with plant-based protein, family. Like Dr. Sabi was telling us, gene food consistency. That's one of the things I remember hearing from Dr. Sabi. He was saying that you make sure that you have the genes and you have the food in coherence. You know what I'm saying? You bring the gene and the food into balance. And so you don't just eat food that's not for that species. You feel me? Every species has its own food, has its own diet. You feel me? And this right here speaks towards what Sabi was teaching. Genes affects your immune system in the way that it responds to different things, especially foods. All right. So our children don't do as well with the animal protein. That was my point with that one. Let me see. Okay, here's another one right here, family. Let me share my screen. All right, hold on, right quick. Go back to it. Okay, down a little bit, so you can just see what there's people are saying about it, and then I'll let y'all know what I think about it. You can do it like that. Okay. So y'all see right here, head lice, right? Now, head lice are also associated with antigenic bloodlines. All right, is an infestation of microbial parasites. All right. Now, it says right here, medical news today, head lice seem to be more common in Caucasian, Hispanic, and Asian American people than in African American people. You see that? Medical news today. For example, fewer than 0.5% of African American school children experience head lice compared with about 10% of school children of other races. All right. That was October 30th, 2021. So that's not even too long ago. That's more recent. But yes, the infestation of head lice, which is a parasitic microbial infestation. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And is associated with antigenic bloodlines, family. Y'all follow me what I'm saying? This is real. This ain't no cap. This is somebody who thoroughly understands the teaching, family. I know what to look for. I know what to look for. Okay. So if somebody says you're AB blood group, you possess antigen, right? That means you have some type of biological mutation. That mutation would give you biological proteins and enzymes that are associated with animals. So that would make you lactose tolerant. You would do good with more animal protein than an individual that is antigenic free. That's what I'm saying. We can't just accept somebody's word without asking any type of questions. Okay, you told me this. Let me go do my own research on it. Let me go do my own due diligence. Like I said, I fell out with a pastor over that, family, for wanting to do my own research and do my own due diligence. I don't think the man liked it. I think he wanted me to come to him for everything. But I don't even want y'all to have to come to me for everything. I just want to show y'all how I do it. You feel me? After a while, I done been around people that seen me research, seen me do what I do. And then over a certain amount of time, man, they pick up on it and learn it. And I've seen them do it on their own. I'm like, okay, yeah, love, you got it. That's exactly what I be doing. But you got to think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? And you got to ask questions. I mean, how can you get answers without asking questions? You will never get the answer. You got to want the answer. And so that's what I'm on. Anyway, let's keep going. We're not done yet. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Show your love and your support for the channel. We've been on for an hour and 43 minutes. All right. In this hour and 43 minutes, I'm sure in some type of way that it has been evident that there's a difference between pure and impure, which is the presence of animal biological markers known as antigen, allelic gene, right? A mutagen, all right? What's another word for it? Those are at least three off the bat. All right, off the bat, if you got any one of those, that's not good, family. That's gonna hinder your structure and hinder your functionality. All right. Okay, so here's another one. Here's another one right here. Let me share my tab. I thought this was interesting. How many women have tried keratin products? I know y'all women like to look good. I know you like, you know what I'm saying? You like to be goddesses and make sure you're looking all good. You feel me? And sometimes our women might not know about the science of some of this stuff. And but we're gonna talk about it. It's all good. Keratin. How many women have ever tried keratin treatment? Y'all know what keratin is? Anybody in the comments know what keratin is? Told y'all what we're looking for. Mutation. We're looking for the biological markers that don't belong. All right. Now, keratin is a protein that your body produces naturally, right? And helps keep your hair, skin, and nails healthy and strong. Your body produces keratin naturally, but keratin shampoos and conditioners that contain keratin hydroxylates, that's a funny word, may strengthen your hair and improve its appearance. And so it's used in the beauty world, in the hair world. My mother, she knows about it. She's a beautician, cosmetologist. But anyway, keratin is a protein that's associated with animals. That's my point. There's a point I was trying to make. And it's due to the presence of having antigens. If you come from an antigenic blood group. So let me share this joint so we can keep going. I got to get more swift with it. I'm learning. All right. It's normally I have more time to. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Share my joint right quick. All right. So keratin, another factor that's associated with animals, instead of just regurgitating other people's research. We're making sure we understand the way that it works and how it works. All right. Keratins are a family of fibrous structural proteins that belong to serial protein groups found in feathers, wool, horns, hooves, nails, claws, beaks, hair of animals. All right. Y'all see that? Keratin by ScienceDirect.com are a family of fibrous structural proteins, right, that belong to serial protein groups found in feathers. Okay, that's an animal, wool, animal, horns, animal, hooves, animal, okay, nails, claws, animal, beaks, okay, and hair of animals. They tell you right there, Science Direct. Keratin, okay, that's a part of the protein that is associated with animals. And here you have organizations selling products to humans that's associated with animal protein. Why would you sell this product to a human, right? When it's for animals? Because there's certain blood groups that are associated with this factor, with these biological markers from animals. All right? Not being racist. Just want to make sure we understand that we ain't all monkeys. Don't call me no monkey. All right. Okay. Let me see. And this ain't no debate. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no debate. So if I was doing a debate, it'll be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just showing y'all the rates of diagnosed the rates of diagnosed diabetes in adults by race, ethnic background are 13.6% of of American Indians, Alaskan Native adults, and 12.1 of non-Hispanic Black adults, 11.7 of Hispanic adults. That's American Disease Association. Diabetes in adults in the U.S., 8.3 of the population, or 25.8 million individuals have diabetes. Among them, 7 million are estimated to be undiagnosed. The prevalence of diabetes is highest among Native Americans and the lowest among Alaska Natives. That's by National Institute of Health, NIH. Okay, but my point is that melanin and biochemistry is associated. All right. Melanin and biochemistry is associated. Okay. So, like I said, glucose, glycerin, glycoproteins are a byproduct of a simple sugar that is also associated with antigens and allelic genes. All right. So a lot of the times African Americans can develop sugar diabetes from consuming foods that are rich in glucose, right? And which is believed to be a source of fuel, all right, and nutrition. But in a non-antigenic group, that is not consistent, family. So we want to make sure we eat by based on who we are and and how we are. So anyway, I wanted to show y'all something else because we talked about the factors of the blood and how to identify and the things that are associated with it. But I also wanted to show y'all one more thing, which is the hybridization, right? It's a little bit more simple. Hybridization. Okay, let me share my tab. Let me share my tab. Okay, a liger is a hybrid species resulting from the mating of male lion and female tiger. The offspring is generally much larger than either of the parents because of the growth inhibitor gene in these hybrids. are due to absence or abundance of genes that limit the inhibit growth, which is a result of his parents not possessing the limiting growth gene. Ligers weigh from 900 to 1,000 pounds, with some individuals known to weigh as much as 1,500 pounds. That's huge without being significantly overweight. All right, Wiki Fur. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted y'all to look at this liger. A liger is an example of a hybrid species. It's not a natural species. You see, is huge. It's insufficient when it comes to hunting and surviving in the wild. I mean, somebody went and changed the genetics. I don't know if that was a good thing. It's too big. It's slow. It's insufficient. And like I said, nature is the supreme intelligence. And you got humans going around playing with DNA, playing with genes. And you get stuff like that. The liger, like I said, is a cross between the lion and the tiger family. And they're huge, but they're not good hunters. It's hard for them to even survive. It's hard for them to even survive, family. Let me see right quick. And why am I talking about hybrid? Why am I talking about hybrid? The reason I was talking about hybrid because the biological marker of the Rh factor, or they want to call it protein, is the indication of mixing between species, creating a transgenic species. All right. You have the antibodies, which are human-based cells and proteins, and then you have the antigens, which are animal-based cells and proteins. Okay, so within the genome of one species, you see bioproducts from two separate species. Okay, this is in the study. They have to make sure these things work a certain way, make sure people don't die, because there'll be all type of incompatibilities. The mule is, of course, a cross between a donkey and a horse, right? That's a man-made species. And my point was fertility. I just wanted to look at that. It's by researchgate.net. Just something real quick so y'all can see researchgate.net. Slide in a minute. The number of animals in the equine population cannot be determined with certainty, but it is estimated that there are about 60.2 million horses, 53 million donkeys, right, which are the parent species, and 7.8 mules worldwide. So you have the original species, 60.2 million, 53 million donkeys, you see? Then you have a much lower population of the mix of the hybrid, 7.8 million. So you see lower fertility rates. And so, like I said, with the A group, the B group, and the AB group being antigenic and having mutation, which inhibits immunity and reproduction, which would lower fertility rates, I don't see how any other racial group could ever outnumber people of African descent, considering that we are the parent species of all races. It's just like this with the horse and the donkey. You feel me? This is the parent species family of all races. All right? So it's showing you an example, but with animals. This is the hybrid. The hybrid is not abundant in reproduction. All right? It's not abundant, and that's for a reason. So these are certain factors that come with being antigenic. We almost done. Right. So y'all see the different species that come out with albinism. We talked about that earlier as a rare occurrence. Let me see. All right. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to play this joint right quick for y'all. And we about done with the show. We're gonna wrap things up. We're gonna wrap things up soon. But I just wanted to get this across to y'all, man. Y'all had this. This is a intellectual property. This is an intellectual weapon that you can use against anybody with anti-African rhetoric. Because we not having it, family. We not having it. All right. Want to join there. Hold on. Not that one. That ain't it. I gotta go to all my videos. Hold on right quick. Let me go to my joint family. 1 second. Yeah, go to videos. All right. My joint go down, further down. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and play this joint. All right, 1 second, family. A Harvard has declared that Africans are the only race that has 100% human DNA, while the rest have Neanderthal DNA in them. While this seems controversial, another separate study concludes with the Harvard study.
The Africans who came out from Africa have no evidence of any Neanderthal genes in them, no evidence of that mixture. So they're the real pure humans, Homo sapiens. Really, really interesting. It gives you a lot to think about.
A new study done by the U.S. Census Bureau shows Caucasians could be a minority sooner than previously thought. While the white population is aging quickly, many white Americans are delaying their decision to have a family. And as a result, the population is decreasing and minority groups are growing at a rapid speed. Correspondent Ashley Banks has more.
For the first time in U.S. history, more white people died than were born in 2016. Data shows in 26 states, whites are dying faster than they're being born. Between 1999 and 2016, the number of white births fell by 10.8%. That stands at just over 2 million. Researchers suggest the reasons for this decrease are the Great Recession, a drop in fertility rates because people can't afford to have children, and a rise in mortality rates, as most of the white population is aging and dying of natural causes, while others are dying from drug overdoses. A demographer at the University of Texas at San Antonio and a co-author of the report says it seems that white people going under the 50% of the population mark might be happening a few years earlier than projected. Some of the states most affected by this shift are Oregon, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Florida, North and South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Michigan. Researchers are predicting by the year 2045, whites could drop well below 50% of the population. While the white population is decreasing, the census says minority populations are steadily rising. In 2017, the Hispanic population rose to 58.9 million, up 2.1% from 2016. The African American population rose to 47.4 million, up 1.2% from last year, and the Asian population rose to 22.2 million people, up 3.1% from 2016.
Okay, so Neanderthalensis, also known as Homo neanderthalensis, are a group of subspecies of archaic humans who lived in Eurasia. Eurasia is the combined continental landmass of Europe and Asia. Okay. Okay, so people of European and people of Asian descent are said to carry upward of 5 to 10% of Neanderthal DNA. Subspecies is another word for hybrid. Okay, so subspecies is a taxonomic category that ranks below species. Okay, meaning that this is a new species of organism. This is where you get the concept of mankind, not the original man. Okay, not an archaic human, but a new species of human, a subspecies of human. These are a group of part hominids, part humanoid species. The Rh factor is a surface antigen occurring on the red blood cells of many humans, so they say, leaving only 15% remaining Rh negative. Okay, so they do admit that there are some humans who have it and some humans who don't. We don't know the exact percentage, but they're saying that there's a larger percentage that has it and a lower percentage that does not have it. Okay, but it's also associated with hemolytic disease of the newborn and incompatibility in blood transfusions. It is suggested that 20% of Neanderthal DNA survived in modern humans, notably expressed in the skin, hair, and diseases of modern people. So this is what a concept that people come from monkeys descend from. Okay, this is where this concept stems from. They found out that there are humans who possess primate DNA. So antigens are primate DNA markers, Black people. Antigens have no business in human DNA. So how did humans evolve if they are still primates and they are still humans? And why would humans possess primate DNA, considering they're two different species? Okay, so evolution is the change in heritable traits of biological populations over successive generations. Okay, these characteristics are the expressions of genes passed down from parent to offspring during reproduction. The theory of evolution by natural selection is the process by which organisms change over time. First formulated in 1859 in Darwin's book, Origins of Species.
Developing right now on Morning News Now, a milestone moment in American politics. This morning, Donald Trump set to appear
Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Love and light. It's your brother, Omni Amanashi, also known as Omni Omnis. This is independent research, it's natural sciences, okay? Now, today's build is going to be about why blacks are lactose intolerant. Building on the immunological difference between blacks and other ethnicities. We're talking about genes. So I had a personal experience I just want to share with you guys. Based on the CFT food and allergies preference list at my children's daycare, I went to go pick them up one day. And being the curious guy that I am, I couldn't help but notice this chart. Okay. And this chart was just dealing with the preference of the parents in regards to foods. Okay. So it's dealing with the immune system. A lot of kids were allergic to milk. Okay. Now, one of the things that grabbed my attention is the fact that in the local area where my children go to school, their preschool, it's predominantly children of color. Now, also, I had another experience where when my twins were being born, I had a conversation with a nurse, and the nurse was telling me that it's very common that people of African descent, blacks, are lactose intolerant. Okay. Now, why are blacks lactose intolerant? Blacks are lactose intolerant due to our genes. Okay. The structure and the functionality of our cells. This is what makes up your genetic grouping. All right. So, what I'm saying is, based on the ABO blood group study and the RH study, you have individuals who are original species of humans, and then you have individuals who have animal genes or genes from the Neanderthal. They call it the RH factor. Okay. Now, the RH factor is a genetic marker inherent to some modern humans. So, what I'm telling you guys is that people of color have genes that are consistent with the original DNA, the original old blood grouping. Okay. So, we see that melanated children, it's very common that they have allergic reactions to milk. What's the problem with milk? Milk, lactose, lactate, which is a chemical, cellular, and chromosomal incompatibility. All right. This is what occurs in an immune response. An immune response is fundamentally the biochemical reaction of the cells in the body to a foreign object or substance. Okay. Considering that milk is produced by cows, by another species, and being consumed by humans. So you have lactose intolerance and you have lactose tolerance. If you don't believe what I'm saying, look up Carl Landsteiner, which is a European geneticist. All right. And this study was founded in the 1900s when going through a series of experiments between different species trying to transfuse blood. All right. So we know it to be true. When you go to the blood bank, you got to list your blood type. Okay. You got to consider your blood typing to reduce the chance of a RH incompatibility. And like I said, that's an incompatibility between the cells, the chromosomes, and the tissues of different species groups of human. So blacks are genetically different. We have organic biochemistry. Melanin is an organic biochemical compound found present in people of African descent as well as other people, but it's found in the highest concentrations in people of African descent. And like I said, this is an organic biochemical compound. So people who have greater levels of melanin are more organic. All right. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Love and light. It's your brother, Omni Amanashi, also known as Omni Omnis. This is another session of Natural Sciences 101. Okay. This is independent research. All right. Courtesy of OmniVision EDU 360 degrees. So love and light to all the brothers and sisters that are joining in, and hope you guys are ready for today's build. We're going to be talking about the RH population. So RH is an acronym termed after the rhesus macaque monkey, okay, which is indigenous to the geographical location of Eurasia, which is between Europe and Asia. The term rhesus factor is in reference to a genetic marker found present in the DNA of some modern humans. So, based on the 2020 World Census population, it's estimated to be approximately 7.8 billion to 8 billion people worldwide. Consider the 85-15% ratio in the RH study. That's 8 billion, right? 85% divided by 15% of 8 billion. That leaves us with 1.2 billion, approximately 1.2 billion people that are RH. Was first discovered by a geneticist by the name of Carl Landsteiner in the 1900s. Rhesus factor definition by Oxford Dictionary: an antigen occurring on the red blood cells of many humans and some other primates, around 85%. It's particularly important as the cause of hemolytic disease of the newborn and RH incompatibility and blood transfusions. So, hemolytic disease of the newborn is the destruction of the red blood cells, the RBCs, which are the carriers of oxygen, all right, and iron in the hemoglobins. Red blood cells are destroyed by acidic, fungal, bacterial based cells in the interaction of RH positive and RH negative, especially during pregnancy and blood transfusions. So, how do we identify the good and bad cells? Gametes are sexual reproductive germ cells, all right, present in AB and AB blood groups. A germ cell is any biological cell that gives rise to gametes. So in the O blood group, which is allelic and antigenic free, meaning it does not have alleles or antigens, all right? No animal DNA markers. This is also a part of the reason why the sexual reproductive cells in the O blood group would not be gametes, would not be germ based, fungal, bacterial based, okay? That only applies to antigens and alleles. Every species group has its own chemical, cellular, and chromosomal composition. As far as the RH factor is concerned in the world population census, the ratio is 85-15%. So 15% of the population is genetically different. 85% of the population is genetically the same. So hybrid organisms never outnumber original native parent species of organisms in population. Okay. Now, for example, a liger is a crossbreed between a lion and a tiger. Okay. There are only an estimate 100 ligers worldwide. All right. Now, when you look at the tiger population is an estimate over 3,000 tigers worldwide compared to the 100 ligers. And when you look at the lion population is an estimate 20,000 lions worldwide. Mules, for example, which are also hybrids, have a world estimate population of 700, okay, which is very low. Donkeys, for example, which are the parent species of mules, have a world population of an estimate 44 million, Okay, horses, for example, which are the parent species of the mules as well, have a world estimate population of 58 million. Now look at the difference in population. Look at the difference in reproduction. Why don't hybrids have the ability to reproduce at the same rate as an original species? We have common genes and then we have rare genes. The rare genes are mutations. All right. Now, the mutation occurs from the hybridization between primate and human. Original humans are the template, the prototypes that created the hybrid. Okay, the original population of the species. The antigen and allelic genes is the Neanderthal gene. All right. Now, the antibody, like I said, is your immune self-defense mechanisms. The antibodies are naturally occurring antibiotics in your DNA. Okay. Some individuals are inherent to more antibodies than others. Some individuals are inherent to less antibodies than others. Okay. Now, the antigen and allelic gene is the animal DNA marker. The antibody is the human DNA marker. And in the O blood group, you have pure antibodies, no presence of antigenic allelic genes from animals. Now, the proof of hybridization is the possession of both antibodies and allelic genes. Okay, the antibodies are human DNA markers. The antigenic allelic genes are animal DNA markers. So if you possess antibodies and allelic genes, you're a hybrid. Okay, antibodies and allelic genes apply to the A blood type, the B blood type, and the AB blood type. Okay, so O blood groups / blood types are the universal donors. Okay, absent of antigenic allelic genes, meaning they do not have the Rh factor. That's why A blood type has A antigen, B antibody. Okay, one human DNA marker, one animal DNA marker. B blood type has B antigen, therefore it is B blood type, which is an animal DNA marker, and one human DNA marker, which is the antibody. A B blood type consists of both A and B antigens, two different genetic mutations present in that particular blood group. Okay. Now, the AB blood type has the least immunity due to the absence of antibodies. That's why doctors typically prescribe individuals antibodies upon infection. Antibodies are meant to fight against the invasion of the immune system, such as bacteria, viruses, infections. Acidification creates infertility in soil. We know toxicity creates infertility. And once the soil becomes too toxic or too acidity or too acidic, it lacks the ability to produce the necessary nutrients and minerals for abundant crops. Acidity and toxicity on the chemical level fundamentally creates infertility, the inability to produce, the inability to reproduce, brothers and sisters. Okay. So, what I'm telling you is that when it comes to the RH study and the ABO blood group study, individuals that are of the RH negatives would generally be the larger population due to the fact that the RH negatives, meaning absent of animal genes, are pure humans, and that the hybrids, which are the RH positives or the RH carriers, are the result of crossbreeding between species, between humans and primates, creating a new species known as mankind. All right, a kind of man, which is a hybrid. This is where the inorganic biochemistry stems from.
Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Love and light. It's your brother, Omni Amanashe, also known as Omni Omnis. And today is another session of Natural Sciences 101, okay? And I am your host. Now, today we'll be getting into the science of genetic nationality. This is a scientific perspective of what it means to be a nation, all right? Now, we know that often people confuse nationality for the body of land or region in which you were born. People are not places, and places are not people. Nation definition by Oxford Dictionary: a large body of people united by common descent, language, history, or culture, inhabiting a particular country or territory. Notice the first word used, common descent, which refers to what? Genetics. How can we be of the same nation with different genetics? How can we be the United States of America with different genetics? We can only be of the same nation if we are of the same genetics. What a clever way to disguise colonialism. The etymology of the word nation, from nat, meaning born, the verb meaning nasi. Nationality definition by Oxford Dictionary: a ethnic group forming part of one or more political nations. Now, this is how nationality gets misconstrued, Black people. And just because you go from one nation to another and use the law to legally establish yourself as a citizen does not change your genetics. My discrepancy is literal terms does not always equate to the scientific meaning of nation. Just because individuals inhabit the same body of land does not make them the same nation. Now, in the US, rather individuals are Black, white, Latino, Asian, etc., all individuals are considered to be US citizens if they were born here or if they were legally naturalized. These types of references are terms often used when referring to origins by landmass instead of tracing origins by genetic science. Irish is not a genetic group, okay? German is not a genetic group. American is not a genetic group. Mexican is not a genetic group. Geographical location does not refer to ethnic grouping or genetic group, okay? Now, any ethnicity or species can migrate to and from a location in one or two ways. Either migration, which is a natural navigation of a species from one region to the next, or immigration, which is the movement or navigation of a species internationally to a land or region in which they are not native, okay? So a subspecies or a hybrid species, which is not an original species, would be a foreign species to any land or region because it's not an original life form. All native, indigenous, sovereign citizens are original, pure humans, all right? Meaning that they do not possess Neanderthal DNA. So they are not hybrid humans. How do you make a hybrid? A hybrid is a cross strain between two pre-existing genetically distinct separate species. Animals and plants can also be an immigrant species or an imposing foreign species that is not native to a land. Native, indigenous, aborigine are all terms that refer to the original species of humans collectively. People of colonial descent are a new subspecies of humans. This is how they impose on individuals who were already on the land or civilizations that was already pre-existing. So you have your Rh negatives, meaning the Neanderthal DNA is not present, and then you have your Rh positives, meaning the Neanderthal DNA is present. So these are your two main genetic nationalities. Your DNA are biological ingredients, the genetic constituents that make you who you are. Bloodline / blood type determines human species group. The original species of humans were first, consisting of the most ancient DNA, also known as O blood types, which stands for original or oldest. Oldest or original. It's not about land or region, it's about the chronological timeline in which your species group derived, okay? All species of humans are not the same species. So a subspecies is an organism that taxonomically ranks below the original genus. So regardless of your current geographical location or land of region in which you currently inhabit, land and species group are two completely different concepts. Any other way of identifying nationality, ethnicity, or a body of people only favors the new colonial concept, which allows colonial intrusion, all right, and totally disregards common descent and natural inheritance. These are things that are commonly overlooked due to miseducation and political bias. This is why science should be law instead of law contradicting science. Science is reality. Now, this is not racism. This is my disclaimer. This is not racism. This is strictly scientific information.
All right. All right. So peace and blessings, family. So I'm still in the house. I'm still in the building. I just thought I'd play a few videos that was pertaining to the subject matter of genetics and then, how to determine purity if an individual is inherent to Neanderthal or animal DNA or proteins. Like I said, I had a few people trying to give me the smoke, trying to debate with me about it. We had the Harvard geneticist make the statement that I agree with it. I've been agreeing with it for a minute. Before I even heard him make the statement, I already knew that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? But it's good for the truth to finally come to the light. And I think today's bill was dope. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. It's already been 2 hours and 30 minutes. But I've been promising to do this bill for y'all for a minute. And so I just had to do it, family. I hate to not stick to my word. You feel me? So we most definitely had to get that joint going, get that joint rolling. So make sure you share, family. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. It's the OmniVision EDU, Black News 720. I thank my mother, Cheryl Grabowski, and her, what she's doing with her channel. Shout out to her and everything that she's doing. Mother Goddess, I appreciate you for bringing me to the universe and just, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? You made the world a better place when you made me, Mother. So I thank you and I love you. And hopefully everything goes well with what you're doing. All right. Peace and blessings to the family. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. Brother Omnis, salute to everybody and all the queens that's in the building. Make sure you share. Again, make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. I see. We up out of here. Peace.